I am passionate about this work. I've been here since 2001, and I never in my life did I ever think I am going to be working in a nonprofit, specifically with domestic violence. But that first year as a volunteer with Enlace Comunitario, it was just starting. It made an impact in my life. People coming in the way they were coming in, with the need in their eyes and their soul, just the heaviness of what they're dealing with, and seeing their children going through that, and having weeks, months go by, and then you see them again in a whole different frame.
But not everybody knows what domestic violence is. Sometimes we think it looks only one way, but it can actually encompass additional things.
Right.
Can you share a little bit more about that?
It's not just the hitting, the punching, the slapping, and it's not likely that people will walk around with bruises. And another part could be where a lot of these families didn't necessarily go through physical violence. It's the dynamic of it, of the power and control, the isolation, the manipulation of using the kids to threaten the partner. If you leave, you're not going to take the kids with you. Somebody going through that, if they're isolated, how do they get the information whether their relationship is abusive or not, healthy or unhealthy? And that's where the prevention and the education comes in, of being able to be very strategic in terms of what kind of information can we provide that will be safe for people to come to as a community without being outed in any way. So our prevention classes and our parenting classes, yes, they are from Enlace Comunitario, which we are a domestic violence agency, but it takes away that part of, hey, we're not going to talk about domestic violence, and these classes are not targeted to victims. It's education. Do you want to be a better parent? What tools can you learn? What can you do differently? What patterns can you change in your parenting style and your communication? How does your self-esteem influence the way you relate with others, how you communicate? What is the proper way to communicate with someone? So as you're going and learning all this information, that light bulb turns on where you're like, wait, hey, that's not the way it's going on with my coworker, with my best friend, with my partner, with my mom, with my sister.
And I love that so much, because how much time do we spend in school and, math, science, history? I mean, these things are important.
Right.
But family, parents, spouses, communication, I mean, we do this every single day. And I've never had a class in this, right?
So Enlace has been in the community for 25 years. And initially it was just our intervention services, again, for a need that was in the community. And in around 2008, 2009, we were able to have a prevention department. And that being our youth leaders program and our promotoras. And from there, it started growing with, again, the need of the community, where the community needed parenting classes, the community needed healthy relating classes. And so we were able to develop a curriculum very specific to our community here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, our immigrant Latino community. It's very relatable because we're culturally specific in Spanish. So that's just a lot more inviting for our community to be able to provide them.
So when you say in Spanish, can you go in a little bit more details about that? It's all the content is in Spanish?
Todo en español.
Okay, see, I don't know what she just said to me.
Everything in Spanish.
Okay, I should have known that.
So in a semester between, September to December, the fall semester, for example, we could be at 5 different sites throughout the week. Some mornings, some evenings. Again, we want to target all community, and it's not just for women, it's also for men.
I'm a man, at least I think I am sometimes. Can you go in a little bit of details how it's beneficial for men?
When we talk about domestic violence and prevention, intervention, you have to involve everyone. Men, kids, teens, young adults, everyone, one way or another is affected. Even if it's just at home where this domestic violence is happening, it's affecting all the community. So it's very necessary to have the space and invite men into these conversations, whether it's parenting or healthy relating.
Are there any success stories in your mind of like, this is somebody who came in and we were really able to help?
I'm just going to start with Berta's story of the impact that she had when she shared of how her and her family wanted to come together and support a family member that was possibly in a not healthy relationship. And the strategy that some of these families go through to be able to support one another, I think that in itself, it's already a success.
Yeah, my name is Berta Costa. The class that I took was about healthy relationships.
So what was your journey like being a part of the actual program?
My journey was fantastic, first of all, from the very first moment we registered to the class to when we finished the class. So the classes were in Spanish, and that was really good because Spanish was my first language and it is my preferred language. It hasn't been effective only with a healthy relationship with my spouse, with my partner, but also in just life.
Can you tell me a little bit of like some of the resources and tools that you actually learned as you were going through the program to help you better yourself in your relationships and communication?
We went over the topics of self-esteem, healthy relationships, communication, like the self-esteem pyramid. I had never heard about that in my life. There's different levels of self-esteem. So I know them in Spanish. It was the autoestima saludable, autoestima inflado, autoestima bajo. So the communication was a really big part that I was able to take home with me, and as well as teaching my husband, like, hey, let's communicate better, or instead of going like straight from little tiny mouse, like let's both be assertive. But I was able to go home and teach him what I learned.
How long did the class run for?
So it was 8 weeks. It was 8 sessions, and it was about an hour and a half. But we always stayed to chat, of course.
That's the best part, right?
Yeah. Something that really touched me about Enlace Comunitario is that during these classes, they made sure that the moms and the parents who were part of this class had childcare, so it wasn't like we had to leave our children to come and do something for self-care, something that we benefit from. So it's really nice to have this, and for free. We didn't have to pay for that, and we got food. And that was really important because my mom, my sister, and my 2 cousins that joined along with me, all of them came straight from after working, so they didn't get to get home and cook food and eat their food, and they were able to take their children as well, so they were fed. That was really important.
So they really thought about your day and how to fit this into your schedule in a way that made sense for you and your family.
Yes.
Is there anything that you would say to somebody who was maybe thinking about this class, wasn't sure, is this a fit for me? What would you say to them?
I would definitely say to do it, to join, to register right now. You'll really enjoy the classes because you feel listened to. It's a judgment-free zone where everybody was comfortable. The whole class I met different types of ladies, different ages. There was young ladies, there was older ladies, there was single ladies, divorced ladies. There was everything, and everybody was welcome. But definitely we all benefited from it. My whole family did. I would like to say a very big thank you to the team at Enlace Comunitario for being super supportive, being very attentive. And I'm really grateful for my mom to introduce me to that and let me know about this great organization, which does a lot of good work with prevention, and it's really necessary right now because I feel like not a lot of people that are going through a difficult time know that they have resources.
Whether you feel like there's a red flag in the relationship or you're just wanting to improve your communication and relationships overall, there's something for you here at Enlace Comunitario, which is a prevention class that's sponsored by Bernalillo County. So we're going to put more information in the video description about that class and how to sign up next semester.